Hey everyone, today we're going to be taking a look at the new Tortuga Expandable Backpack. Expandable backpacks are a really great option when you want something that's going to give you a little bit more flexibility with your carrying capacity. So if you want something that you can compress down to be a little bit smaller when you're not carrying as much, but then that can expand out to give you some extra space when needed. And Tortuga has had a great expandable backpack in the past with the Set Out Divide. This is kind of the updated edition of that bag, so I was very excited to have a chance to test it out over the past couple of weeks. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about what it's been like to use it. I'll show you how I've loaded it out, walk through all the features, and I'll also talk about how it compares to some of the other similar bags that are currently on the market. Before jumping into the video, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Danny, and on this channel, we love reviewing popular travel and everyday carry gear. If you like these types of videos and you'd be interested in seeing more, please consider subscribing as it helps the channel out a lot. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump in. Starting off with the overall aesthetic, the appearance here is very similar to Tortuga's Travel Pack Lite, so a very minimal, subdued appearance. It doesn't look that different from many of the other travel bags that are on the market, which is a style that I tend to like when I'm traveling, as it's just going to blend in nicely into a variety of different environments. So I think that it works well. It's offered in this black colorway. And then as far as the materials, the bag feels very solidly built. The exterior fabric here is a 630D ballistic nylon that feels like it's going to hold up well to rougher usage and offer a decent amount of weather resistance. This is the same fabric that was on the 40-liter Travel Backpack Lite, and that has held up well during the time that I've been traveling with it. The bag doesn't feel overly heavy. It comes in at a little over 3 pounds if you don't have the waist belt on, and then once you add the waist belt, that adds a little bit of extra weight, but it manages to stay under 4 pounds, which is pretty good for a bag of this size and with the features that it offers. Beyond that, you just have some really nice hardware all throughout, Woojin buckles, and then some very smooth working YKK zippers. Continuing along the outside of the bag, I was happy to see that you do have one external water bottle pocket. This is going to offer a nice amount of elasticity and space. It can handle my 26-ounce Yeti Rambler pretty comfortably. Can squeeze it in there even when the bag is a little bit more packed out. You can see how this expands outwardly. And then when it's not in use, it just kind of gets pulled back towards the bag to maintain a more streamlined look. On the exterior, you also have some really nice compression straps, 2 on each side, that are going to be great for compressing the bag down when it's not as full. But it's also going to be nice for holding additional items on the outside of the bag, like a tripod or a jacket. I'm always a fan of these style of buckles that actually release. It just makes it very easy to secure whatever you need to. And then there's also some strap management provided here on both sides. And you have a couple of very nice handles, one on the side and then one at the top. Really good cushioning here, so they feel really soft even when the bag is a little bit heavier. They never feel uncomfortable to carry, and they feel well reinforced. So if you're holding it like a briefcase, if you're loading this into an overhead storage compartment, nice implementation here. And then on the front, you just have the simple Tortuga logo. It's blacked out, very subtle, which is great to see. And then the bag does stand up pretty well on its own. It's got a pretty wide, flat bottom, so I was able to place this down next to me and access the compartments. The shape of the bag isn't super rigid, so if this was a little emptier, I could see it start to tip a little bit, but with the way that I typically had it loaded out, it worked well. Moving into the capacity, when it's compressed, the bag comes in at about 27 liters, and then it expands up to about 32.5, 33 liters. And the sizing here is interesting, and I think this is always tricky with bags that are expandable, because it feels like they have to sort of decide if they want to be more of a travel bag or a daily bag. And in this case, at 27 liters, this feels pretty big as an EDC bag. It feels larger than some of the other 27-liter bags that I've used. I was actually really impressed with how much it was able to hold when it was compressed, so it will work well if travel is your main use case, but this isn't something that I would feel super comfortable walking around as kind of my day-to-day bag. It's also a little bit big for a personal item. This feels like something that wouldn't fit under the seat on a lot of the stricter airlines, so definitely carry-on friendly. Even when it's expanded out to its larger size, that would easily fit into an overhead storage compartment. But if you were hoping to compress it down and slide it under the seat, that might be a little bit riskier. It could work on some airlines, but just given the height of the bag in particular, I would be careful with that. And so lots of space here. And with Tortuga's bag, they always have a pretty sleek silhouette, and when it's a little bit more packed out, it still never feels overwhelmingly bulky or like it would be uncomfortable to use as I'm walking around the city or jumping onto public transit. Continuing on with the harness system, so far the bag has been really comfortable to wear. This is an area where Tortuga typically excels. I really like how the straps have been implemented here. Nice amount of padding, really comfortable, soft. You have a nice breathable material on the inside to help prevent moisture from building up. The straps have a nice width to help prevent the bag from digging into your shoulders when it's a little bit more packed out. At the top, you have the load lifters to allow you to pull the weight closer to your back and really adjust how this sits on your shoulders. Then you have an included sternum strap that you can adjust. And there's also a removable waist belt. And this is something that Tortuga always does really well, as far as including a waist belt that is fully removable, but then that's also going to provide a good bit of padding and support. This is the same style of padding that's present on their shoulder straps, on the back panel, which I'm a big fan of. And when I actually use the waist belt, it really does feel like it helps alleviate the stress on my shoulders, but I really like that I can fully remove this, particularly if I have the bag compressed down and I want to keep things a little bit simpler. Another nice thing here is that you do have the ability to hide the straps away. You have these buckles here that are very easy to release quickly, and then you can tuck the straps into this slot at the top. There's also a Velcro here to help secure this pocket and prevent the straps from slipping out accidentally. And then the back panel also feels really comfortable, same style of padding that we saw on the straps, well distributed throughout, plenty of breathability, and I also like the elevation here to create this deep air channel to provide you with a nice bit of airflow while you're walking around throughout the day. And then the last thing I'll call out here while we're on the back paneling is that you have this nice luggage pass-through that's going to allow you to rest this on a suitcase while traveling to save some weight on your back. Jumping into the organizational options, the layout here is very similar to the Tortuga Travel Pack Lite, which I've called out a few times during the video. It's a simpler layout, but very effective. You have a nice quick access pocket at the top that's gonna offer plenty of space. I'm always a fan of these style of pockets because of the flexibility that they provide. At the moment, I have my sunglasses with their case. I have the USB-C hub with cables that I use for my laptop, my tablet, my phone while I'm on the go. I have my AirPods in there, and then I also have an additional cable with the wall charger for my tablet and my phone just to have a backup. And even with those items in there, there was still plenty of leftover capacity. So great spot for anything that I'm quickly grabbing from my pockets while going through TSA. Also could probably put a jacket or some liquids in here. And then you also have a little lanyard with a clip that's gonna be a good spot for your keys or a little multi-tool. I have a pen here that clips onto there very nicely. And then on the front, you have another zippered quick access pocket, vertical orientation on this zipper, so you can swing the bag around and reach into it without taking it all the way off. And this offers a pretty good amount of space, no internal organization. The height of this compartment is about kind of the middle section of the bag here. And I like that it still provides a good bit of space, even if it's something that's not super flat. So I was able to toss a headlamp into there. I have my Peak Design mobile tripod. I have Field Notes notebook. And then I also have the Tom Bin Ghostwell pouch that I typically carry with me. And then beyond that, no other internal organization, but just a really nice, simple pocket. On the back of the bag, you have a dedicated laptop compartment. This has the reverse coil YKK zipper. It is a lockable compartment, no aqua guard, which might have been nice to see, and very easy to get to your device when you're traveling. Plenty of space here, even for a larger laptop. Currently what I have here is a 14-inch MacBook Pro, but you can see how this would easily fit a 15 or 16-inch laptop. You have a really nice soft lining on both sides of this compartment, plenty of padding, and it's also properly suspended off the bottom of the ground, so you can drop your laptop in there. You don't have to worry about it making contact with the ground. And so pulling that device out, now with the compartment empty, you can get a better look at the inside. No dedicated tablet sleeve here, which might have been a nice addition, but I like how much this comes up, in addition to having the softer lining to just give you that extra bit of flexibility if you happen to have a thicker device, or if you want to use a case with your laptop, it should be able to handle it. But with the amount of padding that's offered here and the amount that this is suspended off the bottom of the ground, really feels like your device is going to be well protected while you're running around throughout the day. And then taking a look at the main compartment, the bag has a suitcase style opening. You have a lockable zipper on this main area, and you can access it as kind of a top loader if you don't want to open the zipper all the way. And then to access the full volume of the bag, you will have to release the compression straps on one side so that you can get the zipper all the way around. And then it opens up to reveal a very simple but effective layout. At the moment, the bag is compressed down, but I still have more of a travel setup just given the amount of space that was available here. Jumping in, I have my Beat Studio headphones at the top with their case. I have the Evergood Civic Access pouch, 1 liter. And then I also have my two Peak Design compressible packing cubes. So I have the smaller size as well as the larger size, and all of that fit there very comfortably. There was still a little bit of leftover space, and then no compression straps here, just a very simple open layout, which I'm generally a big fan of. And then, you have the high contrast liner to provide you with a good bit of visibility. On the other side, you have a zippered mesh compartment to separate out into two kind of different sections. And so on this side, I have some of the smaller items and pouches that I might typically have with me. So my DOP kit, I also have my packable rain jacket. You can also see how a pair of shoes would fit in there comfortably. I have my Matador shower towel, and then I have a Peak Design tote bag as well. And so, really nice, simple but effective layout here. I always like having this divider to just separate out some of these types of items, but then you also have the ability to expand this section of the bag. And I really like that the expansion was added on this side and not on the main compartment, as sometimes it can be done in a different manner. And I always think that this is a little bit nicer because you just kind of have this separate additional section that you can expand. And so you have this zipper on the outside. I'll go ahead and release the other compression straps. I like that this zipper pull is different on this from the other zippers because there's a lot going on. This helps just kind of remind you which is the one that you would use to expand the bag out. And so it goes all the way around, and then you have that extra capacity here for when you have a little bit more that you want to carry with you. So that expansion goes into this section, and then it really transforms into a very versatile compartment. You could definitely toss in extra packing cubes here, so I still have the same setup that I had before, but then another large packing cube, an extra pair of shoes than what I would typically carry with me. So having the expandability just gives me more flexibility when I'm on the road, which is nice, or if I'm traveling for a little bit longer. It can be really nice to have that extra space, and then I can take some of those items out when I arrive at my destination, compress the bag down, and if I need to, I could use this as a daily bag, but I would probably lean more towards one of Tortuga's great packable backpacks. They recently released their Daypack Pro, which has quickly become one of my favorite packable bags. That fits in here comfortably, especially when the bag is expanded out. I can place it into this compartment along with a couple of those items, and then when I arrive, I'm good to go. So, although this is a little bit larger than I would have anticipated for, the compressed version of the bag, the space that this provides is really versatile for all types of travel. And if you're looking for something that's gonna, give you a little bit of extra space, some added flexibility for when you're not sure how much you're gonna need to carry, and then you want something with a really kind of subdued, modern aesthetic that's gonna offer just the right amount of functionality and tons of comfort, and it's gonna be a fantastic option to take a look at. And so to wrap up, it's been a great experience testing out the new Tortuga Expandable Backpack. You can currently purchase it on the company's site. Regular pricing is going to be $250, but for launch week, if you use the code that I've included in the description below, you can actually get it for $200, which to me feels like a pretty reasonable price considering the features and the build quality that it has to offer, and it's also going to compare well against some of the other similar bags in this price range. And so as I was testing this out, the first bag this made me think of is the Peak Design 30-liter travel backpack, which is also an expandable bag. It's got a really sleek, modern aesthetic, very durable build quality, nice external water bottle pockets, pretty simple layout. It's got a large clamshell area so you can toss a bunch of stuff in there, good laptop protection, quick access pockets, so offering a lot of the same benefits as this bag here. Really great weather resistant materials, and then of course you get Peak Design's ecosystem of camera friendly accessories. So if you're looking for something with a more kind of sleek aesthetic that is going to have some of those nice benefits if you're carrying some camera gear, then this is going to be a great option to take a look at. Another bag this made me think of is the updated edition of the Packed Travel Backpack. That's offered in a 35 and 45 liter size, so it's going to be a little bit bigger than this one here, but it does offer the ability to expand to give you a little bit of flexibility as far as the carrying capacity. The layout on that one's going to be a little bit different. Packed has the unique style where the laptop compartment is in the middle of the bag, so it's going to offer good bit of protection there, and then it takes a little bit of getting used to the layout, but once you do, it can actually be really functional. The quick access pockets on that one are great, offer plenty of space, easy to access, very comfortable harness system. And so just checking off a lot of the same boxes as this one here. Very cool, durable materials, but with a more kind of subdued aesthetic. So, it's gonna blend in really well into a variety of environments. And so it's just a really great, solid travel backpack. And if you're looking for something kind of like this, that's gonna give you a little bit of extra space and a different layout, and that's gonna be an excellent option to take a look at. And then the last option that I'll mention here, if you have a little bit of a tighter budget, is the Osprey Daylight 26+6 Expandable Backpack. We took a look at the updated version of that bag on the channel, and I was really impressed with how versatile that bag is. At 26 liters, it feels and looks pretty compact. It's gonna work well even as a personal item on some of the stricter airlines. It's able to hold an impressive amount, but then it can expand out to 32 liters to be a more carry-on friendly size that can go into an overhead storage area. The layout on that is kind of a suitcase style layout similar to this one. It's got a pretty comfortable harness system, luggage pass-through, water bottle pockets, a laptop sleeve, quick access pocket, so just offering a very nice feature set, particularly for the price point that it comes in at around $100. And so the build quality on that and the comfort are not going to be at the same level as something like this, but if you have a tighter budget and you're looking for something that's just going to work very well in a lot of different situations, then that's going to be one of the best options to consider. With that being said, the Tortuga Expandable Backpack holds up very well against all those options, and although I wish it was a little bit smaller when it's compressed down for day-to-day usage, it's still a really versatile bag, and if you're looking for something that's going to offer tons of comfort, a nice bit of space, and a flexible layout, this is going to be an excellent option to take a look at. And I'm definitely curious to hear what you all think of the Tortuga Expandable Backpack and how it compares to some of the other popular travel bags that are currently on the market. And if there's any similar options that you think that I should check out, as always, please let me know in the comments. And I want to thank Tortuga for sending the bag for me to test out, and to you guys for watching and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like, and if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming videos, and we'll see you in the next one.